Welcome back, everyone. Here we have ZhaoYun finally setting up a natural expansion. I do in fact setting up my natural expansion as well, getting that hatchery down, and we're finally trying to do some scouting. So in comes this Phoenix. This Phoenix does in fact have it is in fact a hallucination, so that Phoenix able to scout around the map and able to offer sight, trying to just figure out what exactly to do. The Marines were trying to shoot it down a little bit earlier. Stalkers and Hydralisks now just trying to group up. We're trying to get a very, very decent amount of information around the map, trying to figure out what the strategy is. Don't see any real strategy coming in from any of the players. Secondsleft for some reason getting tech labs, but then building Vikings. So a little bit of a curious move there. Secondsleft on those bunkers able to deal out a lot of that damage, and now siege tanks on this ledge. So Secondsleft really walling into his own base. Pylon now being warped in over here by the Zelnaga watchtower in order to try to deploy for him very quickly. We're trying to prep for a drop or a Nidus will hit hard. So what we want to do is we want to either do a Nidus drop, a Nidus into a base, or try to do a drop, because they haven't expanded. As long as we can expand faster, or we thought they didn't expand, as long as we can expand faster, we're going to be fairly safe. Taking a look, creep tumors now being placed around the map in order to try to get some additional creep for ZhaoYun, but that additional creep will also help me out. Large amount of stalkers, large amount of sentries, large amount of hydralisks, just all around the map, and now more zealots being warped into that center position. Taking a look, I'm sitting at what, 600 minerals. Zerg, not my best race, trying to figure out how to macro them very well. It seems like Zerg, you always have to be doing something, otherwise you're going to be definitely behind in later stages of the game. I do in fact have the level 2 upgrades on all of these, on all the attacks. So my roaches and my hydralisks dealing 2 additional damage, or sorry, my hydralisks dealing 2 additional damage, my roaches dealing 4 additional damage, 20 damage, and able to in fact deal a lot of that damage right over there. Taking a look, still trying to scout those expansions with that Phoenix hallucination. Those Phoenixes moving out so quickly, so doing a very, very good job. Gonna go ahead and try to scout out this particular expansion as well, and we are going to in fact see that he does have this expansion, and we're going to figure out what exactly our strategy is going to be. Both players not just pretty much sitting in their bases. It looks like Gifted said that he's going to be going hard Banshees, but yeah, that's one of those things that we didn't understand. Why would you add tech labs and not build Banshees? That's a little bit of a strange maneuver, as Vikings can be masked much more easily. We have a warp prism easily getting taken down by a large number of Vikings. So those Vikings once again pulling back away. And now Gifted says, on my way. So we're going to go ahead and try to figure out what our strategy in fact is going to be. We do in fact have an overlord over here. Gifted also researching blink, so those stalkers are going to be able to blink onto that high ground. And with Zerg and Protoss, using Nidus Worm and blink is going to be a very, very effective strategy in being able to try to push anywhere. Taking a look at this, we also have a couple of sentries on that low ground. Unfortunately, those sentries cannot be carried along with those stalkers. And I'm going to go ahead and speed up this replay a little bit. I didn't realize how much time he just sat around massing. Terran got 2 armor upgrade. We're going to go ahead and try to kill that Zerg first. So I have a Nidus network. Going to go ahead and try to drop this in. Going to go ahead and slow down that replay once again. A Phoenix now just trying to run around that map. Phoenix going to get taken down. And now Nidus Worm now being dropped in over here on this north hand position, blinking to that high ground, and in comes these units. Nidus Worm taking 20 seconds to build now, so Nidus Worm trying to come back in, quickly taking down that Queen. Hydralisk now trying to come back out as well, and now comes a large army of Hydralisks from this Nidus network. So now Nidus Worm, Hydralisk trying to come in, able to just do a massive drop into the base, and Secondsleft says that he called that was going to be a Nidus network trying to push in onto this base. And still, nothing really coming in. Secondsleft unable to really help out his partner at this stage in the game. Losing the rest of his Vikings. The Terran players is very, very well fortified, but his offense is very, very stationary, however. Stalkers now trying to blink in, trying to take down those drones. Roaches getting taken down by those stalkers, as those stalkers are able to fire at least semi-faster. Broodlings now getting brought in as well. More roaches coming in from that backhand side. Hydralisks also trying to do a little bit more fighting, trying to focus down the rest of those units and trying to blink towards those roaches. And this fight is not going to work out very well. ZhaoYun says GG, guys. Gifted says GG as well, as ZhaoYun should be leaving in just a moment. Hydralisk now just trying to come in, trying to shoot down all of these roaches, just trying to focus them down one at a time, as The focus firing is very, very necessary whenever you are dealing with with roaches, especially with Hydralisk. Hydralisk have that faster attack, so those Hydralisk were dealing 12 damage as towards those roaches, as those roaches do in fact have 2 base armors. Taking a look, wow, 2 base armor on those drones as well. So those drones have a large amount of armor, just pretty much canceling out my attack upgrade. So for those four Hydralisks trying to figure out what exactly they can do. We have Marauders and Marines quickly coming in, and they're going to go ahead and take down this Nidus Worm without any issues. So down it's going to go. So down it goes, and now DT is coming in from Gifted. So Gifted coming in with those Dark Templars. Dark Templars going to try to take down all of these particular units as quickly as they can. So DTS now trying to take down drones, trying to take down the Hydralisk Den. Hydralisk Den already down to 456. ZhaoYun now getting an Overseer and trying to do a scan off of this position. Gonna lose this Hydralisk Den. So key technology. Oh, down to 19 hit points. Not quite taken down. I thought we were able to take that down earlier. 2 Spore Crawlers in the back of that base, and that Hydralisk Den will be able to live to see another day as those Marines and those Marauders were able to save that base. Taking a look back over here, Secondsleft sitting at a 76 over 94 food. Gifted now sitting at 49 over 124. We do in fact have our expansion though. However, we did not know that Secondsleft already set up an expansion over here on the bottom right hand island. Gifted now moving around with that single observer, trying to continue to figure out what exactly the strategies in fact are. Hydralisk down to 31 hit points. Spore Crawler still on this backside, also acting as a detector as well. And that Overseer able to quickly take down that Dark Templar. Taking a look at our armies right now, armies are fairly small. ZhaoYun sitting at 625, Secondsleft sitting with the largest army at 4450, but Crota, it was me and Gifted both sitting at a fairly sizable army, at least enough to really counteract the Secondsleft. Gonna go ahead and turn off that unit overlay once again, using the Nidus network to try to load up as many units, trying to figure out where exactly we want to do this secondary drop. Gonna go ahead and speed up this replay. Perhaps I'll be able to get this down to a 3-part replay. ZhaoYun now just spreading that creep tumor all across the map. Now, I heard... Yeah, wait, I thought I heard it. No, yes, Nidus Worm trying to spawn over here, but unable to really do anything as those Vikings were in the air, as trying to take down this particular expansion and try to push them out. Able to take down some of those Overlords as the rest of those units continue to fight. Those Vikings now once again coming in to engage. Want to take down some of these buildings, some of these units, but still that army, and that is just too much for me to really counter at this stage. Command Center now is trying to saturate this gold mine, or these mineral lines over here. Fair number of Vikings and medevacs, and Gifted now telling me to go ahead and enable ally control. So large number of stalkers, large number of disruptors. Taking a look at the units that we have, Secondsleft still has the most number of units. Zhao still mining, still trying to get rebuilt. I'm sitting on 35 drones, and my partner Gifted sitting on 42. Fair number of units. I have 26 stalkers, so that was 26 Hydralisks. So my Hydralisk army fairly strong, all sitting in that Nidus network, waiting to be deployed anywhere around that map fairly quickly. Taking a look, those Marines now trying to push through. Perhaps they will be able to. Yeah, perhaps they will be able to push through and then try to come back, try to take down this Stalker force. Gonna go ahead and speed up this replay once again, as this replay is a little bit slow. Phase Prism now trying to come in and grabbing another hallucination. That hallucination once again going to be used in order to do some scouting, kind of like the mirror image from Warcraft 3 with that Blade Master, except it only takes energy from that early sentry. Phase Prism going to go ahead and I believe warp in some units over here. That'd be a very, very nice deployment of any of those units. Now coming back over here, large number of Overlords sitting at 89 over 164 as I'm trying to macro up and try to build a fairly large army. Stalkers now being warped in once again, still trying to use that creep tremor to just generate more and more speed around the map. You got to remember that Zhao does not have that much of a large Zerg force, so creep benefits me more than it benefits him. Hydralisk now once again moving out. Those Hydralisks are upgraded, in fact 2-2 as well. So those Hydralisks upgraded the same as my Hydralisk, so those units are going to be fairly strong. Taking a look, the Queen also upgraded as well. with a range of 3. Let's take a look at this. Medevac's now going to go ahead and join in on this fight. We'll see how this really works out, as we have a single Nidus Worm sitting in the middle of the map, and then he's going to be able to quickly destroy. Stay tuned for part 3 and part 3 and perhaps the conclusion of this replay. I'm going to let this replay run a little bit long, and part 3 and the conclusion of this replay here on Lost Temple.